We got some Kevin Garnett disrespect here, man. As you can hear, dude, he's talking about KG's not top five power forwards all time. And the notable names he put up that was above him is Tim Duncan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dirk Nowitzki, Charles Barkley, and Karl Malone.
Kevin Garnett was overrated. Like, he's not even a top five power forward, if you ask me. In Minnesota, he was just a tryhard. I mean, he made a few all-star teams, but they only got out of the first round one time, and they went to like 8 straight playoffs and only got out of the first round once. And in his 11 seasons before he went to Boston, they only won more than 50 games twice. I know you want to bring up the time in Boston where he won the championship. Anything is possible! Yeah, when you got 3 other Hall of Famers on the roster and a Hall of Fame coach. I got Duncan, Dirk, Malone, Barkley, Giannis, all easily over Kevin Garnett in my top 5.
It's 2 of them that's undisputed that you really can't argue, and that's Giannis and Tim Duncan. If you want to talk about points, or you want to look at points and just go straight to Basketball Reference, we can do that. He played 20 years, yo. Get off his dick, bro. His totals is lower. Dirk's one of the greatest scorers ever. Yeah, okay, cool. That doesn't mean he's better than KG. Let's get it out of here right now. Tim Duncan. The only match for Tim Duncan in that era was Kevin Garnett. Think about everybody else, because Shaq played center. Tim Duncan had to move down. He wasn't playing center with Shaq in that era, so he had to move down. Shaq's the reason KG moved down to power forward. Like, Shaq was a reason for all the madness going on at the center position with all these trash players, all these big bodies and stuff. So at the power forward position back in KG's era, when he was coming up, it was Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk, Charles Barkley was on the way out the door, Karl Malone was on the way out the door, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Zach Randolph was on the come up, and then later in his career you get the Blake Griffins and all of them. Giannis came way later, so I'm gonna try to leave Giannis out of here. He's already blew past all of them besides Tim Duncan, so we gonna leave Giannis alone. I'm gonna kind of leave Tim Duncan alone too, because we seen Tim Duncan. We ain't stupid. If you really want to talk about who can actually cook KG, I mean, you can talk about Chris Webber a little bit, but Chris Webber was a team player. So we talk about Kevin Garnett. What's funny, I didn't know his middle name was Maurice. But look, we talk about Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Those the 3 other ones that he mentioned. It's a long running debate with me and my homies about KG versus Dirk. Yeah, Dirk has no business being on defense in any era. He's not known for defense. He's one of the greatest scorers ever, but scoring is only half of the game. This is why I always say Kevin Garnett washes Dirk, gets him the fuck out of here. He locks him up. Dirk got a fadeaway, the one leg fadeaway. Kevin Garnett is bringing him out there and running around him. I mean, it's just that simple. As far as Charles Barkley, I don't know why he's on this list. Charles Barkley, a rebounding champ 1 time, an MVP, All-NBA 11 times every time he made the All-Star team. According to Basketball Reference, since he wanted to use Basketball Reference to prove his points. KG, MVP, 9-time All-NBA, 4-time rebound champion. Charles Barkley, a 1-time rebound champion. 15 All-Stars, but you know how they hand out All-Stars. That's why I don't do this. One thing that he got that he don't have, 12 all defensive teams and a Defensive Player of the Year award, which is something that Charles Barkley's not known for. So, they're both Hall of Famers. He won his ring later in his career. Charles never got a ring. We're not talking about rings. We're talking about who getting cooked. Who's better? And if you're going to sit here and say that Charles Barkley is getting KG out of there, you wild. Well, he cracked the top 5 because he done got Charles Barkley out of there. Let's go to Molester Malone. Compare their attributes and stuff. Okay, 14-time All-Star, 14-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive. 4-time All-Defensive, what years? I gotta know what years, but I'll check that. I don't even need to know what years. It wasn't later in his career. He wasn't doing nothing on the defensive end later in his career. Other than that, he's just a 2-time MVP, 14-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, and he don't even have a Rookie of the Year. I'm going to get to that Rookie of the Year shit too. The only one on here with a Rookie of the Year, I think, is Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's the only one on here with a Rookie of the Year. the reason KG don't got Rookie of the Year, I think he should have Rookie of the Year, is because Damon Stoudemire was in Toronto. There was a new team. They was trying to establish him. But if you look at the numbers, do your own research. Damon Stoudemire was not Rookie of the Year over Kevin Garnett. But they had to do it, kind of like LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. They had to do it for certain reasons, for politic reasons, and I think that's why he got robbed of Rookie of the Year. But hey, who am I to know? I was just 2 years old when that happened. Let's get back to it. Karl Malone versus KG in a matchup. Who in the hell is picking Karl Malone to cook KG when Karl Malone don't have a bag? Karl Malone sets a pick, he rolls, he pops, he shoots a jumper, or he just makes a layup and dunks it after the roll. You not giving the ball. You want to know what's so funny about Karl Malone? The only time we see Karl Malone get the ball on a post up is when Jordan comes from behind and strips him for it, go down, pushes off Byron Russell, dagger. That's the only time you can even see Karl Malone posting up. And if I'm wrong, tell me. But KG's getting him out of there. KG got too many moves, too fast. You can talk about all his strength and stuff. KG's too fast. People who will tell you about KG, he's not the weakest motherfucker. Like I don't know why people act like dude's just skinny and weak. Nah, dude's been a dog since day one, and he's one of those. He's just different. I don't know how people act like KG was. Where's this slander even coming from? This is blasphemous. But Karl Malone, it's a reason we don't talk about him on the top scoring list. He didn't have a bag. He didn't have a go-to. He had a pick and roll, which was John Stockton and him. John Stockton ain't shit without him. He ain't shit without John Stockton. He just wasn't. He's a two-time MVP over KG, who's one-time MVP. He don't got no Defensive Player of the Years. And he's a two-time MVP in the Jordan era, which was like being an MVP in the mid-2010s. Like, we was tired of LeBron winning. They was tired of Jordan winning. They had to give it to somebody else to keep it spicy, I'm guessing. But I don't even count the MVPs in Jordan era. He didn't win a chip. And he cost the game. But he the one caused the game. He turned it over at the end. So I don't want to hear that. Karl Malone versus KG. Karl Malone's getting cooked. KG got too much variety in his bag. So that brings him into the top 4, right? All right, let's go to Dirk. Dirk got visibly less accomplishment, but we all love Dirk. What he did is what he did on the offensive side of the floor. He don't get you no rebounds. He don't get you no blocks. He don't get you anything going. I always ask people this. I love Dirk to death. He's my favorite power forward of all time. But what do you do when Dirk get out there on the pick and roll and then he had to switch? What are you doing when you got to switch on the pick and roll? Because you know what KG is doing, but what is Dirk doing? Dirk's kind of... He's not useless on defense. He's tall, he's lanky, he's going to run into his shits, but for his size and the position you play, when you compare him to others, Dirk's getting the fuck. Tim Duncan never struggled with Dirk. Giannis is manhandling Dirk. And if you want to be honest, I think Chuck's better than Dirk, but we ain't gonna do that here because we're not gonna do that here. But if you want to, hey, leave a comment down below. I'll go over that one. Well, I think Chuck's better than Dirk. But Dirk, MVP. He's an MVP in 07. That same year, he got swept by the We Believe Warriors. Finals MVP, NBA champion. Probably the heaviest championship in NBA history, besides the bubble championship. Don't at me. I mean, we got a lot. We can talk about a lot, Like I can sit here and talk about a lot of basketball with y'all, man. 14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA. That's really as far as his accolades go. He's not a defensive nothing. We ain't never seen him as a defensive nothing. KG can dribble, shoot, finish, jump, leap, block, run. Everything that Dirk is trash at, KG excels at. And everything that Dirk's great at, KG is good at, if you know what I mean. He's Dirk's just not better than KG. So I don't know why the hell he's trying to tear down KG. What did KG do to you? I thought KG like cut his spot out if he was there. He's top 5 power forwards all time. Nobody came in here and was like KG should not be in top 5 power forwards. Nobody ever said that. But okay, let's go to Giannis. We're gonna leave Giannis out of here. Y'all already. I'm gonna read his resume though. 6-time All-Star, 6 All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive, 2 MVPs, 2 1 championship, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved. You know, he Finals MVP. And what year is he on? Like year 12, 10? He on year 9. Like he's good, bro. He's on year 10 or 9. He's growing. KG and Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, probably the best power forward that ever played a game. Giannis is coming for that position, but Giannis got to keep it up later in his career. As good as Tim Duncan did, he got to age gracefully like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, 15-time All-Star, 15 All-NBA, Rookie of the Year, 5-time NBA champion, 15-time All-Defensive, 3-time Finals MVP, 2-time MVP. He stacked Hall of Famer. We already know that. But look at his stats. Why people talk about stats? He didn't score as much as Dirk. He didn't score as much as Karl Malone. He didn't grab as many rebounds as a bunch of players, yo. But he's the GOAT because we've seen his game. And I didn't even talk about the success of the team. Yeah, he was a team player. But him being in a team-oriented system and putting up the numbers he put up with the defense that he played for so long, it's kind of undeniable. You know, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like Tim Duncan people who don't like Tim Duncan out there. But if you got a problem with Tim Duncan, you tripping. If you think he's not like GOAT power forward. But hey, Giannis on his way. That's another debate. The story here is KG.
Kevin Garnett was overrated.
He said Kevin Garnett is overrated. Where has Kevin Garnett ever been overrated, dude? Like, be real, bro. Where has he ever been overrated in any capacity? I don't even think he's overrated or underrated. I think Kevin Garnett got his respect, cut his shit out, got his chip at the end, and stayed 10 more years after that. And you already know what he brings. Some of the shit he brought to the game wasn't even on the stat sheet, bro. What are you talking about, overrated? Nah, we ain't gonna do this today.
Like, he's not even a top 5 power forward, if you ask me. In Minnesota, he was just a tryhard. I mean, he made a few all-star teams, but they only got out of the first round 1 time, and they went to like 8 straight playoffs and only got out of the first round 1.
So what? Does that make Tracy McGrady overrated? Does that make Tracy McGrady overrated? Does that make Damian Lillard overrated? Okay, long story short, they got caught trying to pay Joe Smith under the table out of all players. I know, but Joe Smith was unique back then. He was a unique type of player. The team saw interest in him, and they tried to pay him under the table. He accepted it, and they got caught so they could pay other players. They got caught, and they took a bunch of draft picks, since they were so bad. Name some rookies that they got that was notable names in the draft throughout all the years KG was there. Everybody they had to get was through like free agency and stuff. You know, they got Latrell Sprewell, Sam Cassell. All of them came through free agency to play with Kevin Garnett, the overrated tryhard that you're saying in this damn. It makes no sense, bro.
And in his 11 seasons before he went to Boston, they only won more than 50 games twice. I know you want to bring up the time in Boston where he won the championship. Anything is possible! Yeah, when you got 3 other Hall of Famers on the roster and a Hall of Fame coach.
You know how hard it is to win 50 games when you're the only motherfucker in town? Give me somebody besides LeBron James that won 50 games when they was the sole All-Star. I don't even think. Have LeBron won it as the sole All-Star? Was Mo win it? You know? I think LeBron's the only one that won 50 games while being the only All-Star on the team. He went to the conference finals when he had Latrell Sprewell and some help. That's it, bro. That's it. Like, that's not something to wince at, bro. Charles Barkley had Kevin Johnson, He had Dan Martin. They had a little squad. Tim Duncan always had great players around him. Um, who else did he? Who else did he say? Giannis. Giannis is Giannis, bro. He got a great team around him. He got Drew Holiday. He got great value Kevin Durant and Chris Middleton, but they're great players. Well, you discredited like you woke up and KG ate your cereal or something, bro. It didn't make no sense. Well, Karl Malone. They had it was Karl Malone and John Stockton for 20 years and they got nowhere. Went to the finals twice. Took an L twice. Like at the end, they did it at the end. They had to wait for everybody else in the West to get old. They don't sit here and do this. And then they had to break that up because Shaq was on his way right after that. Like, come on. It makes no sense, man. Dirk. Dirk probably Dirk didn't have an all-star his whole run. He had Steve Nash. Steve Nash left with the Phoenix, did Steve Nash things. Jason Terry wasn't an all-star. He was just a great six-man. He had Karan Butler, but Karan Butler wasn't an all-star then. He had Peja Stojakovic. Peja Stojakovic was hurt, wasn't really an all-star when he got there. Jason Kidd, coming from New Jersey, all-star, but wasn't an all-star again once he got there. Like, Dirk's probably the only other one. But you don't say Dirk's MVP year was try hard. Like, I don't get why you shooting at KG. It makes no sense. No, we don't have to bring up the time in Boston. It was a great time to be alive. Okay, let's talk about this. How many teams has 2 or more Hall of Fame players on the roster and won a chip? Don't get me started on the 80s. Don't get me started on the 90s. Hakeem and who else? Hakeem was probably the only one in the 90s. In the 2000s, you had Shaq and Kobe. You know, okay, that's 2 All-Stars. That's 2 Hall of Famers. Great players around them. The time they tried to do it, they had a bunch of All-Stars and it didn't work. The Pistons, great unit. I believe that Chauncey Billups and Rasheed Wallace. Well, Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer now, so they had a Hall of Famer right there. Who else got a chip out of there? Miami Heat, Shaq, D-Wade, Gary Payton, and a consolation Hall of Famer, White Chocolate. Spurs, we already know the Spurs had squads. The Lakers, Paul Gasol's a Hall of Famer. Kobe Bryant, Kobe is Kobe. Lamar Odom is underrated. But, yeah, KG lost to them. Then Dirk came back and beat who KG lost to with no Hall of Famers. But that don't make Dirk better than KG. That just made him, his offense, the teams around him. That's what I'm saying. You gotta separate the teams from the players and ask yourself, who's the best player at this position to add if it wasn't no accolades? And the best player at that position to add first is Tim Duncan. You'll probably take Giannis. Then you're taking KG. You're not taking Dirk, Charles Barkley, or Karl Malone. Look at how much they need for them to be effective at their position. These players can do it on their own if they need to be. Like, that's why you calling them a tryhard, isn't it? Because he was out there making it happen. And then you go all the way up to the 10s. Kobe won 2. Dirk got his. No All-Stars, no Hall of Famers. Even though Jason Kidd's a Hall of Famer, he wasn't an All-Star level. So, technically, yeah. They never make it back to the finals after that. Then the Heat came in. We already know that. Hall of Famers. The Warriors came in. We already know. Kawhi with Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry Hall of Fame probability is high as hell. That's 2 all of Fame. Like, no Hall of Famer is doing it on their own. Dirk, that's it. And he had a Hall of Fame player and a Hall of Fame coach with him. Jason Kidd, Rick Carlisle. I don't care what you say. No Hall of Famer. Why did he get all this gargantuan weight on his shoulder? Like, LeBron didn't even do it on his own until he had, like, a Hall of Famer around him. Kyrie, Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love's like the last white Hall of Famer left for the NBA right now. It just makes no sense. You putting all this pressure on poor little KG, bro. Why are you hating on KG?
I got Duncan, Dirk, Malone, Barkley, Giannis, all easily over Kevin Garnett in my top 5.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard, man. It's just stupid, and it's not. It's too surface. It's not really. It's too surface area. It's not really based in fact. And the fact that you got them over him, and the only reason I can see you putting them over him is if you went to basketballreference.com and just pulled up stats and saying, yeah, he's better in this and that. But when you watch the game, it's a reason why KG was the big fucking ticket, dude. It's a reason. He was everything back then. What the hell what else do you want from him? He can shoot, pass, run, jump. Like, what did you want from him? Play defense. Play 1-2-5. He didn't play the 5 because Shaq was around. That's the only reason. And when Shaq retired, what did he do? When Shaq got old, what did he do? Because that's who he is, man. He's a Swiss Army knife of a basketball player. He's the big ticket. I don't know. Makes 0 sense, man. 0 sense. That's it. I ain't got nothing else to say on dude. Dumb take. I might do more of these. See something on TikTok. I'll find blasphemy and just talk about it a little bit. I'll get why the hell it made 0 sense. But alright, man. Joe G is out, man. Peace.